Hi friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, presenting for the Funky Junkie Boutique. Our challenge surrounded tags, and so I decided to use a large or a medium, etc. tag and then add three additional little tags. So again, here's my medium, etc. tag, and I'm using heavyweight distress cardstock. And here's the stamps that I'm going to be using. And again, I'm really just using the light bulb from the robotic set. So again, the first thing I did, we're going to start with ink smooshing. And again, this is speed smooshing. I'm using Vintage Photo, Rusty Hinge, and brushed corduroy. And again, you kind of put them on your card, on your craft mat, and then run your fingers through it after you've spritzed them with water. And then I went ahead and spritzed the cardstock as well. So again, I'm just gonna start dipping and drying and dipping and drying and, you know, trying to get a good base of color on that background before I move forward. So again, I like to try and pick up the dots of color here for a little more impact and texture. By the way, you should see a red arrow at the lower right-hand side of your screen. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, I do a lot with Tim Holtz, funky type of things. I also love florals, so I do a lot of floral cards as well. So I hope you'll join me. So again, I've got lots of color on there. I'm using a couple of the, a small craft tag. And so I went ahead and I'm dipping that in Rusty Hinge because again, I've already got the brown color on there, so I just wanted to add a little bit of interest. And so then I also grabbed out the splatter stencil. I have the small version of it, and so I'm just kind of adding some coffee drips and coffee rings, and just, you know, kind of adding some real texture here to the background. I'm using brushed corduroy distress ink to do that. So again, just kind of coloring away. Too much fun, too much fun. And again, if you've guessed, I'm doing a coffee theme for this particular tag. We've got friends that own a coffee shop. It's called Ghost Light Coffee here in Dayton, and so I wanted to do a tag for them. Decided also to add that the splatters and things on the small craft tag, although in the end with the light bulb, dressed up light bulb that I put on there, you really can't see it very much. So I will admit this tag is inspired by Juliana Michaels, who is one of Tim's makers. She did a really cute coffee tag, and I thought, oh, that'd be really cool to do, again, for this coffee shop. So I ended up adding brown thread around all of the tags. I stitched it, and now I'm adding the brushed corduroy to the perimeter of that medium, etc. tag, because the distressed watercolor paper is only 11.5 inches, so I've got a little bit of a gap there at the top. Or I guess it's 11 inches, excuse me. And so I wanted to add a little bit of color to the top part of this tag. So again, just kind of coloring around the outside here of these pieces. And then they're ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to go ahead and use my collage medium to attach the cardstock to the base of the tag. And again, I used a brayer on the top to smooth it out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it upside down and set it aside to dry. So now I'm going to put together some of the pieces. I pre-cut a lot of these. I did a lot of the coffee cups up front. You know, again, now you're seeing me work on the light bulb, and I'm using a metallic cardstock for the filament. And then also for the base on the one that the gentlemen are going to hold in the end, which you will see. So again, I'm kind of working here, showing you the two tags here and kind of how I'm going to space things. Because as I said, I've got the two gentlemen. So what I did was I doubled them up to make them a little bit thicker. And I also cut out a suit from the tailored set, so the jacket, etc. On the gentleman, I did select one of them, and then I cut them out in reverse. In other words, I cut one out with on the front of the cardstock and then flipped the cardstock over because it was textured, and I wanted to have them hold the light bulb. So again, we'll go ahead and get all these guys together, all of the pieces. Too much fun, too much fun. I can see this little set being used for lots of other fun things. So again, I'm gonna assemble the hat here. And as I said, I did cut the coffee cups out earlier and put them all together, and I did about 6 different colors, and I did, 5 coffee cups of each color and kind of have them set aside for future projects. So right now I'm just kind of inking the perimeter of the light bulb, and we'll go ahead and put that on the large tag, and we'll get my light bulb dressed here. Adding his hat up here at the top. And so on the smaller tags, I ended up adding additional coffee cups. So you'll see that later on. Right now I'm going to work with the alphanumeric Emporium die to cut out the name of the shop, which is Ghost Like Coffee. So again, I'm creating sticker paper here. And again, this was something Tim talked about doing. I don't have the large Xyron, but I have the smaller one, and I can certainly use it for the smaller dies. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the letters and get them all ready to go. I really like this alphabet set. It's just really, it's a great size, and it's got great interest because of the pieces that are cut out of the letters. So the next thing I'm doing is kind of assembling it. So I don't have anything glued down yet. I'm just kind of laying it on here. I did go ahead and put that copper strip on once I kind of knew where my gentlemen were going to be. And the next thing I'm doing is working on the name of the shop, which is Ghost Like Coffee. So I've already pulled the sticker part off of the background here on the letters, and I'm just kind of arranging them to get them evenly spaced. So kind of working here with my poker. And then once I have them all arranged, I'll go ahead and push them down so that they adhere well to that background. So I'm happy with the way this is turning out. It's just really it's interesting and has lots of different textures and techniques on here. I mean, it's just really just a fun tag. So now I'm going to work with my gentleman here. So I'm adding my collage medium to the back side of the gentleman, and you can see that they are cut in reverse so that there's kind of their free hand there in the middle. There you can see it, because I wanted them to hold the light bulb in the middle. So we'll get those attached. And then I'm picking up my light bulb here. I decided to add foam tape on the back so that it is popped up a little bit. And so we'll have the gentleman holding it. And then the next thing I need to do is arrange those coffee cups. So I have a feeling I'm going to be using those quite a bit. They're just cute. They're kind of small, but again, I can think of lots of different ways to use those. So I'm going to pull out that collage medium again and glue them down. Just kind of working on getting it all together. Just way too much fun. Adding them on here. So in your spare time, you can go out and check out my Instagram account. It's also Everything's Terry's Mailbox. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I have a blog on Blogger. Would love to have you come and subscribe. to any of my channels. And again, I do, as I said, I do a lot with Tim Holtz type things, funky things, a lot with florals. Really, really love floral cards. So again, here I've got those 2 tags, and you'll see in the end I ended up adding a 3rd tag because I didn't want it. I wanted it to look more balanced, so I added foam tape on that center tag. And then the next thing I'm doing is I'm just taking twine and kind of running it around my fingers. I do this quite a bit when I'm doing doing bows with seam binding, etc. So this time I decided to use twine, so I hold it there on my fingers and then make the knot with my right hand. Takes a little bit of balance to do that. So again, once I get that on, I'm going to run that through the opening and kind of wrap it around a couple of times just to, it doesn't really need to be secure, but it just adds a different look to it. So we'll go ahead and tie that down. And in the end, you can see I added a 3rd tag on there because I wanted it to be more balanced. So again, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. I'm so glad you stopped by today. Please check out the Funky Junky Boutique.